Welcome back to Echo Ridge and another episode here in our Timberborn series, where doesn't it look calm, peaceful? And that's because we're sitting at the beginning of Cycle 3, Day 1, but don't worry, we only have so many more days until the next drought hits. Today I'd like to keep improving on the lumber industry, probably getting up to gears next. Right now we have logs, we have planks, and if I click on the wood button, you can see next up is the gear workshop. Yeah, it's going to take 100 more science though. Speaking of which, our inventor is plugging away, but at a very pathetic rate of 1 science for every 1 hour. Eventually, we will be able to unlock the observatory that more than 10 times this effort at 10 science every 0.75 hours. Unfortunately, it's going to require a lot of power, 200 horsepower, and in order to unlock it, it takes 1,000 science. Well, no big deal, Echo. Let's just go ahead and build some more inventor huts. I would do that as well, but we only have 2 unemployed beavers right now. Granted, I might be able to furlough a couple here inside of the district center. I don't have a lot being built right now. That is a possibility. But before we get into the business of expansion, let's go ahead and check our current stats. We're sitting at 422 food. Our warehouses are not looking too shabby, but we're only sitting at 3 water. I definitely think it's time to unpause this water pump, and that way we can get our water stores filled a lot more quickly. Additionally, I've had some feedback from the first 2 videos, and everyone's yelling at me that beavers make dams, that I should make dams. So here's the theory. If I put a dam, say, right across this river here, when we do go into a drought, the water will stay behind the dam for a lot longer, which would keep our crops going, hopefully long enough to avoid the 2-day drought resistance mark. It's a very smart plan. I'll be honest, I just didn't know we could do it. But lo and behold, here's the dam right here. Now, it does take 20 logs, so it's not cheap, especially when you're considering building a dam all the way across the river. And the great thing about these dams, if we sort of zoom in on one of them, is you'll see it's still going to allow water flow. Yes, all the water in the river will back up a little bit, but once it gets to a certain point, it will overflow and continue down. So yes, Komorowski, I will finally build your dams. I think we'll start from this point here, and then I'll just go across. That is 5 dams at a cost of 20 logs each. I'm really going to need our lumber industry to hurry up. Although we still have a bunch of oak trees down in this point that we're able to utilize. Hey, Berry Beaver, I think you need to go on a sabbatical and do something else. You're not exactly doing anything with berries because, well, your berry hut is full. I could also expand our storage by adding another berry storage warehouse right here. I think I'll do that for the low cost of 15. And you might think, well, how are the beavers going to get up there? Well, I think I'm going to ask even more of our busy beavers and put several platforms down. In fact, I'll expand it all the way to this point. And that way, when I do need to make another carrot warehouse, we'll have the ability to here. It also means I will need to expand the pathing. That looks good there. Now, it's going to take them a little while to do all this stuff because we only have 49 logs and 29 planks. But with our lumber industry slowly churning away, we should be okay. Another update from the first 2 videos is several people in my Discord said, hey Echo, there's a mod out there that'll allow you just to import a list. So instead of getting the normal beaver names, all of our beaver names will be drawn from a custom list made up of all of our YouTube and Patreon members. And if you see, by clicking on our population statistics, all of our beavers have been given their custom names. When a beaver dies, that name just gets added back to the list for a young beaver to eventually get it. As an aside, and for full disclosure, YouTube has started putting pressure to raise all the prices on memberships, starting with a lot of our international countries. So to keep everything fair, I have right-sized the membership pricing across YouTube and Patreon. Despite YouTube wanting me to raise it by $2, I've only raised the monthly membership cost by $1, and fear not, if you have an existing membership, your old price is locked in. If you're wondering what do you get for a membership, you could be a beaver and also access to our members-only Discord, where I frequently answer questions and provide updates on the channel. Back to the beaver action. One quick update on our lumber industry is it looks like my lumberjack flag is not further enough over to be able to get to these trees here. Luckily, it looks like I have a little room here, so I can build another lumberjack flag right here. We will deconstruct this one, and now the new flag has access to all the good land. Do need to extend the path a little bit there. Cycle 3, day 3, things aren't looking shabby, other than I'm starting to be concerned that they actually cannot reach this dam here. They can run across, but there's no platform here. So I could either put another platform for 6 planks, or I can put another dam building for 20 logs. And as a reminder, we're able to turn 1 log into a plank, so the 6 planks of a platform is significantly cheaper. So we'll just add a platform right there, and now the beavers should be able to have access here. Here's another bored berry beaver. Let's go ahead and pause them. I'm now up to 2 unemployed beavers again. I'm thinking, since we're back up to 175 water, it might be time to expand our lodges. If I could get more lodges down, I could get more beavers, which would free up some employment, which means I could put a lot more inventors down. But I think it's time to start expanding these up. Not for any really good reason. I have plenty of land here, but it does look a lot cooler. Unfortunately, you have to put a bunch of platforms, and that way they're able to get up there. What if I put platforms here and then moved the beaver houses back? Oh, I think I'm going to like that. Granted, it's ridiculously expensive, but then all I have to do is put some stairs right here, and the beavers have access to the second row. So no matter what, you're not going to be able to get around the platform usage, but that's still pretty cool. We'll start off with 2 more beaver lodges. On the good news front, it looks like we are starting to grab more logs. Our birch trees are the first ones to come up. And it's good because we're down to 4 planks and 55 logs. A better way to showcase that is just by looking at the large piles here, where old Angry Forest is taking the last of our planks. Angry Forest indeed. So while the beavers didn't have any problems building this platform, they're still having an issue with the dams. And I think it's because it's just too far from a path. Now, I am not going to be putting a path right through all of our carrots, but I do have a little bit of space here in between the bushes. In fact, if I unlock the stairs, we can even have an alternate way to get to the dam, well, across it, in case we wanted to start harvesting these trees, which I think would be a great idea. Unfortunately, for the stairs, it's going to require an unlock of 70 science. We're sitting at 180, so I kind of like that idea. Now, this will be another 4 planks and a log, so we're just going to go put those in. And then I'm going to extend the path right off of our lodges, right to these stairs here. Now, there should be no issue with the beavers getting to this dam, well, after they build the stairs. In other news, we have completed the platforms for the backside of the new lodges, so let me put down a couple lodges there. Oh man, the spiral stairs would be so good here. Look how good that looks. For 350 science, though. Nope, sorry, you're just getting boring stairs. And I'll extend the path like that. One day we'll fix that with some nice spiral stairs. Additionally, one of the reasons why all of our lumber and planks have been going quickly is because we did finish all of these platforms and our new berry warehouse, where we have quickly filled both of them. We're sitting at 377 berries. Our wonderful stairs have been put in, and now the message that said it was too far from a path has gone away, so we are awaiting the delivery of 20 logs. Here comes Jesse carrying 2 of them now. It's going to take a little while, which is going to be one of my complaints about this whole initial dam strategy. I think it's going to work out well as far as keeping our crops and our trees growing for a little bit longer. But as we showed in the first 2 episodes, it's not 100% necessary. As long as you have a backstock of enough water and food, I'd say you don't necessarily have to dam up any rivers. Stop stereotyping the beavers! As our first dam is completed, you'll notice the shift in water. In fact, what's going to happen as the dams are finished is this water level is going to rise, which is going to have an interesting effect on this area. Eventually, we'll be using automated floodgates to control the river and move it where we want, but for now, this should do the trick. Our beavers are definitely coming up short on the wood. We're down to 14 planks and 12 logs. You can see we're getting a message about a disconnected building. That's because they decided to build the lodge before they finished the stairs. So what I'm going to do is raise the priority on the stairs. Incidentally, I'm also going to have to add a path up here on the top side. I'll send it down to about that point there. And this way, when the stairs are finished, the pathing won't be a concern. Our second dam is in, and I believe I can see that the water level is starting to get a little bit higher. The water line seems to be a little bit taller onto the logs. I don't know if that's just confirmation bias or if that's actually happening until we seal it off, but that's my guess. Also adding a path on top of the dams, just like we talked about before. I think we're going to gobble up all these juicy logs as well. Our new lodge is finished, and we already have two new duplicates, and we already have two new beavers living in them. Our second lodge is going in, and we are up to a total of 20 beavers. Still only one employed though, because we're just now starting to make more baby beavers. I've just learned that even though the dam is not complete, these last two still have to go in, I was still able to extend the path, and that way when these dam pieces are finished, the path will automatically extend with them. And I am now confirming that the water level is indeed higher. It was not confirmation bias. As you can see, we're about halfway through this second log here. And this shot here really highlights the difference in the depth from one side of the dam to the other. Hopefully this dam's not going to end up flooding my areas. Don't mess with my carrots, please. One thing's for sure, if you remember during the last drought, we had barely had enough water with these 5 small tanks. But now that we're going to have an additional 6 beavers, I'm a little concerned for the water. But combating that will be the fact that we now have a dam in place that's going to keep this water here for longer, i.e. our water pumps will be working longer. With that additional berry storage in, this bored berry beaver looks like they can find something else to do, so I am going to pause work at this gathering flag, and that gets me up to 3 unemployed beavers. So I think what we're going to do is just add another inventor right here. This will double our science rate to 2 per hour, all very temporary, but the reason why is because we need to be able to gain access to the medium tank. And while it only takes 120 science, it also requires 20 gears. Those gears are going to take another 100 science and more power. All of this means we need more labor, well, and more wood. We are down to 13 and 20. I think I'll even make the desperate maneuver of extending this path here, and then building stairs here and here. And that way they'll be able to gain access to these oak trees and cut them down. Once they are finished being cut, I will deconstruct these stairs to reclaim their planks and their logs for that matter. But for now, I think this is a good spend. Additionally, over on this side, as soon as we are done with the dam, which look how far the water level's gone up, I'm going to throw another lumberjack flag here and grab all these trees. Eventually, this is not going to be a huge problem because our domesticated forest will be taking care of us, but just the initial growth of an oak is 30 days. Yeah, the birch can grow in 7 days, but they only give me 1 log, whereas the oaks, as a reminder, will give us 8. Speaking of which, it looks like there's another gap in here for me to fill. What is this, a maple? And I think that is the last spot. No, we have a couple over here. There's the oak. Here's another birch. This is on the wrong level, so we will cancel it. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. It's been a little while since we've improved the well-being of our beavers. Right now, it's sitting static at around a 6. Some beavers are a little bit slow getting to their food and to their water. But if we do something simple, like give them access to looking at a lantern, it'll be another +1. If we give them access to sunflower seeds, it'll be another +1. A rooftop terrace, so on and so forth. Why does this matter? Well, if we go back into our population summary and we highlight over the working speed of our beavers, you can see our next tier with a well-being of 10 gives their working speed a +40% boost. That's a 20% boost over the previous tier being the well-being of 5. Additionally, their movement speed would increase by an additional 10% up to 15. Even their life expectancy improves with a higher well-being, although the next tier is not until 17. Next tier on the speed being a 12. A longer life expectancy for the beaver means we don't spend so much time with having child beavers, because our adult beavers will live a lot longer and can continue to work. So I'm going to do a little bit of improvement over here by our lodges. Starting with some decorations, it will take some science unlocks, but our 2 beaver inventors are hard at work. So we'll start off with some lanterns for 100 science. Oh, that's really expensive. And I think I'll put the lantern right by the stairs, although only the beavers that live on the top would end up seeing it, unless the bottom level beavers came this way. So why don't we put another lantern, say right here by these stairs? Well, now that seems foolish. I have double lanterns. That's okay. I could also improve the aesthetics of our lodges with a nice roof. So I'm going to unlock roofs with 120 science here in just a little bit. In fact, I have 3 unemployed beavers. We're adding another inventor. And I know it seems like I'm getting sidetracked. I'm not, because if I can get their well-being up to 10, I'll get a 40% bonus to their working speed. Well, what if I wanted to add more lodges to the top later? Then I would have to deconstruct all the roofs. Instead, I think we're going to unlock the shower for only 50 science. Beautiful. And then I'll end up putting it, I guess, right here. Oh, this is a beautiful spot. I wish our lodges were a little bit closer to the water. I suppose I could put a path here. Apparently, the shower will work down to 3 meters. I don't know how many beavers one shower will facilitate, but if need be, I can add another shower right next to it. I'd really like to add this Lido, I think that's how you pronounce that, which it says is a perfect place to go relaxing by the river. It would give our beavers the wet fur they oh so love, and another well-being building, but it does take 250 science, 40 logs, and 30 planks. That's basically 70 birch trees. So we're going to hold off on that. Instead, we're going to unlock a pair of things. First being the contemplation spot for 100. And I'm just going to put it somewhere here, willy-nilly. And then I'm also going to unlock some benches just to adorn the area. I think those will look pretty cute. Maybe having a bench by the contemplation spot as a sort of waiting line. Unfortunately, the benches will not actually give us any bonus to their well-being. So I think what I'm going to do is add some sunflowers. Beavers seem to like the sunflower seeds. I don't want to use up too much of this area here because we're expanding our lumber industry there. But I am trying to keep it to be workable by this farmhouse. So I think we'll just add some sunflower seeds right there. I do not know if that's enough sunflowers. They are able to grow in 5 days and each one gives us 2 sunflower seeds. So we'll see. Maybe some of the beavers will get up to a 10 well-being. Like M-Sale here's apparently already hit the contemplation spot, but they are the only one. We have a couple more at 9. We'll see. But I can't spend any more science points on stuff that we don't necessarily need. We're already at day 11 in this cycle. And if I have any hope of completing the medium tank, I need to put the gears down now, which takes 100 science. And I've blown all my science on fun things. Come on, beavers. Time to invent. One thing I wish the game had, and I know I'm sure there's a mod for it, is the ability to be able to get rid of more than one path at a time. I'm starting to make room for our gears industry. In the meantime, you'll notice a bunch of these trees are starting to come up, and we only have 1 lumberjack flag here. And I think these pines are already ready, so I'm going to unpause this lumberjack flag. Here comes M-Seal now with their 10 well-being. It was the contemplation spot and the campfire, I think, that sent them over. They also saw the shrubs and the lanterns. But I want to make sure both beavers are gainfully employed. Because for this area, we have 1 forester beaver that's responsible for replanting trees. And then 2 harvesting beavers. I'm not 100% sure how long both of them would stay busy. Granted, that's a lot of wood. Speaking of which, we're almost finished up here. We have 1 more tree that is ready to come down, just to make sure. We did say for it to be cut, as is this one. Then we have a few saplings coming up, but eventually this lumberjack flag is going to be able to be destroyed along with all of these stairs. We also have boxes of berries sitting in the farm, and that's evidence of the fact that not only is the gathering flag filled with 20 berries, but both storage houses are also full. So I think I'm going to spend some of that precious log and put yet another berry storage up here. As a quick reminder, since we've been talking about well-being, berries will make sure that the beavers do not go hungry, but they don't actually provide any nutrition to improve their well-being. And oh no, what is this? Okay, we have an injured beaver. What did you do, Skadavy? Right now it doesn't seem to be serious, but they are refusing to work. So, you know that sweet science that we were going to spend somewhere else? We're going to have to spend it on a medical bed. I just can't escape triage cots, can I? The question is, where do I put these medical beds? I'm thinking our town center might be the best spot for them, and that way all the other beavers can keep an eye on them, since they're being lazy and not wanting to work. We'll start off with 2 medical beds. Hopefully it doesn't get more serious than that. And you might wonder, how do the beavers get injured? Well, the more intensive the industry, the higher chance for them to get injured. Here at the lumber mill, you see it has a low chance of injury, but at the gear workshop, the chance increases up to medium. Same with the paper mill, the printing press, and the wood workshop. Eventually, though, at places like the bot part factory, there's a high chance of injury. But fear not, Skadavy, the medical bed is finished just in time. I don't know how long it will take for them to recover, but that is not too shabby. I'd really like to put some additional decorations here. Maybe a scarecrow and a weather vane? That is 200 science and 250. That's not happening. Oh, but look at these nice hedges for 150 science. Never mind, the beavers don't care about the hedges. Here at day 13, we have some berries that are ready to come up. So I have unpaused this gathering flag, and our 3rd berry warehouse is ready to accept more goods. We're up to 670 food. But if I don't get that water up, it's not going to matter. I also wanted to show you how high the river is with our completed dam. I feel like this is going to backfire on me somehow, but the effect is truly one of the great things about Timberborn. I've also paused this lumberjack flag until these trees finish growing, and since you only have to do those things every once in a while, they really don't seem too micro-intensive. It is time to unlock our gear industry and put a bunch of beavers to work. Step 1 is going to be placing it, and right here seems like a good spot. And then of course I'm going to need another storage area. Oh, we're running out of room quickly. We will change those goods to be gears. Oh, wait a minute. Gears are not in the large pile. Let's get rid of that. That must mean gears are in the warehouse. So in order to conserve room, I think I'll put the warehouse, say, right here. Yes, here are the gears here. But the gear workshop is going to require 120 horsepower. Our lumber mill is eating 50 horsepower for a total of about 170. Well, if you remember, the output on our water mill is sort of locked. So I think it's time to add another one here, which will increase it to 270. I don't know if it's 100% necessary, but we might as well future-proof the area. And I think the dupes are going to be able to get to it from this side of the river. And then I need to extend the power shaft network with only 1 log each. That's not too shabby. And in order to keep a path on the back side of the buildings, I think that might be better, because that just looks silly. I suppose this will do for now. Here are the beavers putting the 2nd windmill in. Poor Joanne D'Angelo is bored and waiting to build some gears, but there's no power right now until we finish the power shaft. Okay, now we're on a timeline. We just got the drought message and it is coming in 3 days. And I have not yet even unlocked our new medium tanks, which takes 120 science. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I have raised all the priority on our power shafts to be built before the water mill, and that way we could get started on some gears. Man, it'd be so good if Joanne was at tier 10 of well-being. Right now they're at 9. So we're only getting the 20% speed bonus, because those gears, they come slow. Each gear takes 3 hours, which means they're only able to complete 6 gears in the workday. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the amount of demand on the power. Never mind, it's a moot point, because our 2nd water wheel is complete and we now have up to 270 horsepower, which is going to be plenty to cover the gear workshop and the lumber mill. I don't think it's going to happen before the drought. We only have 5 gears in inventory right now, and the medium tank takes 20. We do have enough science to unlock the building though, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. Man, look how big and beautiful it'd be though. 20 gears though? I don't see any gears in that building. Please show me where the gears are. I don't know though. Skadavy is now at the gear workshop and they have the well-being of 10. So I'm assuming we're cranking out more gears. I think we're just gonna wing it. After all, we do have the dam in, so we'll be able to keep the water in for a little bit longer. In other news, our first batch of sunflowers is coming up. And one thing about that is I wanted to highlight the fact that the efficient farmhouse can hold 50 sunflower seeds on top of 50 carrots. Now, while the beavers are gobbling up those sunflower seeds pretty quickly, we are starting to get the bonus. 21 out of 25 beavers have had sunflower seeds. Unfortunately, it looks like our contemplation spot is not able to keep up. Only 12 out of 25. So maybe I need another contemplation spot. I think this is a decent spot. I don't know if that's how it works. When I click on the contemplation spot, you can see its popularity does wane. This is why Skadavy's working the gear workshop now, because Joanne got injured. As did Angry Forest. I don't know what they were doing. We have less than 0.2 of a day before the next drought starts. I am not worried. Yes, we have the same amount of water saved, but we do have our wonderful beaver dam. So we'll be able to pump the water for a lot longer before it runs out, either from us draining it or through evaporation. With the river not flowing though, my guess is that the water mills will not be running. Oh, look at that. We've just hit the average well-being high score of 10. Here comes the drought. There it goes, drying up. But if we follow the river, this is where we are. The levels will start going down. My assumption was correct. The water wheels have stopped flowing. Interestingly enough, and probably not good, is that our water has, when it was dammed, went past this natural dam, which you may not think is bad, but eventually we're going to have to deal with this bad time drain. That's going to be fun. But yes, our dam is holding strong and we have access to nice clean water. Apparently, if beavers want to build dams, you should let them. We have no power, but that's okay. This drought was only going to last 3 days total anyways. But look at all of our wonderful carrots still growing. Our lumber industry and our trees are still growing. And most importantly, our water pumps are still pumping. Learning new things, learning new things. And the proof was in the pudding this episode that I do read the comments, so make sure you let me know below what you thought of this episode, what you think of this series, and what else you're hoping to see. Next episode, we're definitely going to improve our water system. We're also going to continue to improve our lumber industry, hopefully with the ultimate gain of improving our very poor science situation. I hope you're looking forward to it just as much as I am. So until next time, much love, happy gaming, and I'll talk to you soon.